camels, desert camping, historic forts, delicious food. Jaisalmer has it all. Good morning from Jaisalmer. We arrived last night, this morning at 4:30 a.m. Checked into our hotel, which has an amazing room, and then also woke up to this town, which is just so interesting. Everything here is this golden color, like the fort, and it's raining. So until Jaipur, we didn't see any rain in India, and we thought, when is the rain coming? It is so dry. And so to wake up this morning to a gray sky and it's kind of raining, it's on my glasses, is very unusual. Today we're going to check out the town a little bit, go to the fort, which is why I think everybody comes here, and then tonight we're going to the desert. So it will be a jeep ride, a camel ride, and then we're going to sleep tonight under the stars if there's no rain. Oh, hello! Look who came to join me. Hi. Oh no, oh no. All right, here is the fort. I don't know how you get up there. And then a bunch of restaurants down here. All right, so when you come to Jaisalmer, there are lots of places to eat. The hotels usually have some kind of cafe. There are lots of restaurants around. The convenience store guy told us to kind of walk towards the fort and we would see the food market, which I think is just a collection of restaurants. But as we were walking around, we saw that there were a number of locals hanging out around this food stall, and it serves a number of different legumes and beans. I've seen this in other places. I've always wanted to try it. I love my beans. And we saw they've got chana masala. Now I've had chana masala before. I've made chana masala, but this is so different because the chana masala that I know is almost in this spicy red sauce. This is very different than the chana masala I know because it has these brown chickpeas, tomato, onion, we've got some green pepper, and then also he puts these wheat on top, and the sauce is just lemon, salt, that's it, and a little bit of chili, So he asked you how much you wanted. We said medium. This is so tasty. Alan said he could eat 10 of these plates. I love it. Now, to be fair, we are rolling the dice a little bit, having the fresh tomato and pepper, but I feel like sometimes you gotta roll the dice to have really good food. So if you have the type of stomach that maybe you're sensitive to a lot of things, you might not want this, but let me tell you, if you don't, if you're willing, this is so good. You got the chili pepper, the fresh chili, salt, lemon. These chickpeas are delicious. They're almost like, it's like they're toasted. This is delicious. This is one of my favorite things. I'm saying I'm going to learn how to make it, but actually, I don't know if I could recreate this at home because it's that local chickpea, it's the salt, it's all the local ingredients, it's the view, it's the experience. But this is a fantastic breakfast. That was an amazing breakfast. It was only 80 rupees for the chickpeas, and I got a pineapple juice that had no ice, no water. I think in the end I paid $120 for breakfast. All right, so while we're walking through, why don't we do a quick Wikipedia history lesson. This place was built in 1155, and it was at the time a very important trading post. It was on the Silk Road. The color here is not only beautiful, but it actually serves a purpose because we're in the Thar Desert. This color, which later on becomes like a golden yellow shimmering, protects the place in the desert. It becomes camouflage. One of the most interesting things I learned, and also sad, was in 1255 or middle 1200s. It was under siege, was under certain defeat, and so the women here burned themselves and also their children because the fate of being captured was worse than actually being lit on fire, which is horrifying to think about. And today, this spot, no longer a fort, but it has recently become a UNESCO heritage site, and that is very important because it needs a lot of restoration. So 25% of the population of the city still lives here. The population is growing, which puts more pressure on infrastructure. Also, the ground that it was built on is not the best, and so there actually needs to be quite a bit of work done here. But it remains one of the few living forts in the world, and the second largest, I think, in India, at least in Rajasthan, but maybe also India. If this is a nice day, if you come here on a nice day, this would be amazing for sunset because everything would be really golden. We're here on a white sky day. Not the best, but still interesting. But not as good for pictures, but sometimes you need to put the camera down and just enjoy it. I say that as I'm talking to my camera. All right, well, that did seem like a nice cafe, and they do have an espresso machine. However, the power is out right now. This has happened to us quite a bit in India, and they apologized profusely. But there's nothing you can do if you don't have power, so that's fine. We're gonna check out of our hotel, and then I think we're gonna try to grab lunch. So when we were in Delhi, and then also in Varanasi, a lot of people thought that we were Indian. And we still both get that a little bit. People will say to me, oh, you look Indian. But what we've noticed in Jaipur and then also here is a lot of people are saying hola to us. So one person in Jaipur thought we were from Mexico. I've always said I have such a generic look that nobody really knows where I'm from. And I think the same is true for Alan. He also has like a very generic look. This is our hotel, Tokyo Palace. It is so pretty. Even when we came in last night, I could see all of the detailing. It's really nice. Let me find the website because I don't think it's expensive actually to stay in town here. It has a swimming pool. It's small. All right, so we have eaten. We've had coffee. We are set to go. We're packed. We're checked out of the hostel. Next up, I think, is a 1-hour Jeep ride and then a 1-hour camel ride into the desert. Oh, wow. Oh, all right. We're good. All right, I was trying to think, and actually I have never been on a camel or the dromedary, but this is an interesting experience. It's gonna be about 45 minutes. These are quite large, and one of the things that I do like about this tour is that they really discourage people from taking elephant rides because it's not quite ethical for the animals, but here they have a really good operator for the dromedary? Camel? Can't remember.
sitting on this animal is interesting because you're literally sitting on a hump. There are no reins, but there is like this little horn thing that you can hold on to. This just shows you how little I know. But the sun is starting to get low. It's just a cool breeze, the warm sun. It's really nice in here. So when we saw that we were doing this trip, when I hear desert, now I just think of Wadi Rum in Jordan. Knowing full well that desert isn't necessarily characterized by this big, massive sand area, but actually is a climate. I actually think in some ways this is better because we've been able to see like trees, bushes, going through farmland, also sheep. We also saw some wild antelope. There are lots of birds here. And so while it isn't that massive, expansive sand desert, it's still really beautiful. And to be honest, I don't know if I would have chosen to do this if I had traveled in India independently. I might not have come to Jaisalmer, and if I saw that there was an overnight desert visit with a camel trek, I don't know. So in that way, I think having a group tour is a good thing because you kind of just go along for the ride. You don't make any of the decisions and you do things that maybe you wouldn't normally do. Look at this sunset. The sand here is so fine. It's like the softest sand. I took my shoes off just because it's so beautiful to walk in. Now let's see if I can get to the top here so we can watch the sunset with a view from here. So going to the desert is definitely a highlight, and we just got here. It's so beautiful out here. You don't think of this kind of landscape for India, at least I don't. And then the people just have been wonderful who took us out in the camels, always making sure that we were feeling great. And then we get here, take some pictures before sunset, and then they give us this welcome chai. Now when chai is served, it's always scalding hot, and you can see this is in a metal can. So as much as I would love to like first have my desert chai, it's like you gotta breathe on it because Alan tried his too early and I think he ripped some of his taste buds off. But this has just been beautiful. The landscape is beautiful. We are going to have dinner out here and we ordered beer in advance. Now, we had a choice of beer or wine, but the beer, we kind of know what it's going to be. It's going to be the Kingfisher Lager. If you order white wine in India, I don't know what it's going to be, so we thought we would play it safe. So beer with the dinner here and then a campfire. Just a night in the desert. This is really special. Definitely a highlight before I've even experienced all of it. These are our beds getting ready for the night. So we're lucky in that it's not going to rain, and so we're sleeping right underneath the stars.
Hi, welcome to our camp, our Desert Million Star Restaurant.
Oh, it looks
We are
good.
making you a very warm welcome. Now I'm making the chutney,
Ooh,
which is a very spicy thing.
I love spicy
Which guys,
chutney.
they don't eat spicy, it's only for them.
Oh,
That's with the garlic,
yeah,
with the tomato,
yes,
with the curd,
yeah.
with a lot of different masalas inside. So that's my last, I did it all. I cooked some lovely dal, cooked some potatoes, cauliflower, mixed vegetable. Tagaram is going to cook some lovely chapatis for you guys. And it's all yummy.
Yummy.
was a little bit chilly, but they gave us really heavy blankets. And so it was actually really quite comfortable. The blankets are heavy, warm, the beds were comfortable, and so the night air was a little bit chilly because the last 2 nights it has rained, and so it was colder than maybe it would have been in the desert, but very, very comfortable. And then this morning we were woken up with more desert chai, which is so, so good. So the plan for today is we're going to get back up on the camels after breakfast, and then we're heading into a village. So I think it's a small village in the area. It should be interesting to check out. This chai is good.
Good morning. Good morning. Very well, thank you.
The sun is coming up and it's gorgeous. Just as bright and red as it set last night.
So last night at the bonfire, it was too dark to shoot, but I had a really great time because we actually got to sit with the crew here and talk to them about things like growing season, what types of things they grow in the area. And I was sharing that in Canada, you know, we really only have like a 4-month growing season, but they were saying the same thing here in India because of the rain. So while they don't have the cold temperatures and snow of Canada, they still have kind of a short growing season, and that they produce a lot of wheat here that they actually export, just like Canada. Anyway, it was really interesting. They also shared that they have this one-night tour that's available, but they also have longer tours, like 5 nights. Same setup, so you travel by camel, or you can do it by jeep if you want. And then you set up in the desert. They take care of your beds and everything. And then every day you visit a small little village. So that actually sounds really cool, a really great way to kind of get out of the hectic city and to see some of these smaller villages in India. So I'm gonna get some more information on that one. We are now getting ready to go. Breakfast was great. I don't eat a lot for breakfast actually, so I just had a little bit of Maggie and an orange, but there was toast, porridge, boiled eggs, lots for people to have. None of it was spicy, so that was good for a lot of people in the group. And now we have the option of taking the camels back or getting in the Jeep, and everyone chose the camel. So, you know, when are you going to have this opportunity to kind of go through the desert? And the ride is actually pretty smooth and very beautiful. It's only half an hour back. This company has been around for 35 years. It was one of the first in Jaisalmer, and you know, you can really tell that they've been doing it for a long time. Everything is very smooth. The beds were so comfortable. Everything is so clean, white. The staff is so nice. I can't say enough about this tour.
Join my Patreon community for more behind the scenes and exclusive content you won't find elsewhere. You can also find me on Instagram, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. All of these things make my day. Thank you so much for your support.